Hi, my name's Isaac, and this is a brand new 2021 Ford Bronco BadLands edition with the Sasquatch package. And today, I'm gonna review it for you guys. Now, I've already covered the Bronco pretty extensively in my two-door hardtop black diamond review, but I wanted to give you guys a different perspective on the SUV with this four-door, much more off-road focused variant. So, without further ado, let's get started. And if you see that giant yellow crane arm in the background, no, this Bronco isn't a transformer. For some reason, I'm just choosing to film this in an active construction zone. Before we begin, I want to thank Koch 33 Ford for allowing me to review this vehicle. For all your Ford needs, you can visit their website, koch33ford.net. So starting out up front here, I'm going to do this video a little tiny bit differently since I've covered most of these features already. I'm going to do a complete walk around and just go over the new features of this Bronco and some of the mainstay highlights of it if this is the first Bronco video of mine that you are watching. Starting here with the front end, I think Ford absolutely knocked it out of the park with the heritage design of this grille. I think it's fantastic, and this particular one has a camera incorporated into the front. That is for the 360-degree camera system this is equipped with, but also it can be used as a trail cam for off-roading, which is really nice. With the Sasquatch package, you're going to get this really beefy bumper with really nice grab tow hooks on there, and there's parking sensors, as you can see, across the front as well. So a lot of safety implemented into this. This particular one is powered by a 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6, making 310 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. Now that is paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Then moving down here to the side, I absolutely love this color, I forgot to mention. I mean, it does look like a construction vehicle in the mix of all the other construction vehicles in this area, but I just think it looks really, really cool. And it is a very nice hero color for the Bronco. I believe this is what it was unveiled in. You have these Goodyear 35-inch tires wrapped around these 17-inch wheels. I really love the chrome and black contrast with your little Bronco horse incorporated into it. That's really nice. And then up here, you'll have your BadLands Sasquatch badge. Just a sticker. I kind of wish that it was maybe embossed like Jeep does, but that is still cool nonetheless. Then up here on your mirror cap, you're gonna see that there is a camera in here for the 360-degree camera system. Then there is a turn signal indicator, and these also have blind spot monitoring incorporated into them. And of course, they are power. Something I've mentioned previously, but I think is amazing and really destroys Jeep, is that the mirrors here are mounted up here by the windshield. They're not actually mounted to the door. Because these doors are removable, you can take them right off and you're not losing anything like your mirrors. Now that's an issue that Jeeps have had for many years, and since Jeep is the only or has been the only competitor in this segment really, they haven't really needed to change because they're like, well, nobody else does a fully removable door vehicle anymore. But now Bronco's coming in and really mixing it up. So I hope that Jeep will change. Now, obviously there is a lot of aftermarket options to mount a side mirror on there, but I just think from the factory, if you're gonna be able to take your doors off, Jeep should just give you the functionality to have your mirror mounted, or just mount it just like this, which I think is fantastic, and it doesn't detract from the look of the Bronco at all. Here you will get keyless entry, or yes, so you just tap that, it'll lock the Bronco, pull this and it will unlock. I don't have the keys in my pocket right now, but that is the functionality there. And then moving down here quickly, this particular Sasquatch package has 11.5 inches of ground clearance, which is 2 or 3 inches more than the factory ground clearance, and you get rock rails on here. So if off-roading is your main priority, this is definitely the Bronco for you. And then this particular one does not include a car seat. I'm sure you can get that elsewhere, but this is actually one of the employees at the Ford dealership's Bronco. He just took delivery of it. So that's really awesome that he was finally able to get his. Really cool LED taillights. You also get LED headlights up front. And then this is something that Jeep also has, the backup camera implemented in between the spare tire. Now I love the rear mounted spare tire. I think that's a great design cue, but I think that, you know, they took this from Jeep, but where else are you gonna put the backup camera? You know, there's a lot of design elements that are very similar to Jeep. obviously, on this Bronco, but I think it's fantastic. I mean, I really think that Ford knocked it out of the park with their variant of what a Wrangler would be, and I hope that this really gives the Wrangler a run for its money when it comes to full mass production and the marketing. Now you can lock this, but open this up. This liftgate comes out sideways, again, very similar to a Wrangler. Moving in here, these are the windows for the side, because this is the soft top, and then you do have some storage down here, which is really cool. And overall, pretty nice. You have a 12 volt back there with a little light, and you can fold these second row seats down, which is always cool. Now, most of these videos on the Bronco that you've seen show you how to take the roof off or pull the roof down. I'm going to show you guys how to put the roof up.
All right, so this process is actually really simple. You just have to pull this latch down, and then that clicks the top part of the roof into place, and then you just fold the other half up, and then you fold your visors down, and there's 2 latches right there to secure the roof into place, and then it's back up. Then what you do is go to wherever you have the little panels for the side, your rear third quarter windows, and you can just slide them in. Now, I did grab the wrong one at first because I've never done this before, but it's actually really easy. You just have to slide it in on this little track. There's like a little rubber bit that slides in, and then there's 3 like backpack clips essentially that hold it in and secure it. So actually pretty simple process to take off and put it back on. Now, admittedly, the rear window gave me so much trouble. I was there for a really long time trying to figure out how to properly put it on. It's the same concept with the rubber strip that you have to slide into place, but the 2 brackets that hold on the rear D-pillar are just kind of confusing. And eventually I did get it and I figured it out, but I didn't think it was the easiest and most simple process. And then it's the same thing with the clips. And then I also should mention that there is Velcro securing it as well.
All right, so putting the soft top back on might not exactly be a cakewalk for someone who's never done it before, but I'm sure that the more you do it, the easier it gets. Also, I wasn't following any instructions on this. I watched one video and I went, yeah, I could probably wing it from there. Now you might be asking yourself, okay, Isaac, I like the soft top, but I'd prefer the hard top because I can't get in here. What if I need to get stuff that's higher up for easier access? Well, when you open this bottom part, Ford has thought of that. There's 2 little latches down here, and then if you push up on them, you can actually raise this up, and there's a little bar that comes down, and you can have a little storage area kind of open up if you want to be able to just get in really quick and grab something. So it's not as easy and practical as the hardtop's glass that just pops up, but it's definitely a really cool solution, and it's not bad. Let's move to the interior. Moving to the interior of the Bronco, the fit and finish in here is amazing. Really nice soft touch materials here where you'd rest your arms. There is hard touch down here, but again, soft touch lower on the door panel, and it just feels really, really well built. I also really like the grab handles right here and the slight yellow accents all around the interior near that climate vent and such. I think that's a really cool poppy feature that these Broncos add to the interior. You get a very nice leather steering wheel with controls for your Bluetooth and your radio, as well as your cruise control. And then you have a small screen in the gauge cluster with a physical speedometer, and then your different drive modes down there. Now this screen can display a lot of different things. Right now it's on mostly off-road settings, but you can do different things like your Bluetooth, your trip, your fuel, and your navigation. Displayed in here, in tandem with the buttons you have on here, if you click this one, you have your stabilizer bar disconnect, and that's going to tell you if you're in 4 high, 4 low, what will work for what. And then next to that, you have your front locker, your rear locker, and then you have your trail turn assist, which is really cool. That's a nice feature that this has for off-roading. Then of course your traditional traction control off and your hazards. You also have auxiliary switches up here, which is really nice if you want to add things like light bars or other accessories later down the road to your Bronco. Ford was thinking ahead with that one. That's really nice to see. And this one does have the really large touchscreen in the center. The other Bronco I reviewed had the smaller touchscreen. Not a bad screen, but this one is much quicker, really responsive with the new sync. And as you can see, it actually has wireless Apple CarPlay. So it's always really nice to see that in there. And you have your different things you can go to. So that's really cool to be able to have that functionality in there. And then you'll have different specifications for the Bronco over there, your off-road status and such. And then other features you can go to. This Bronco actually comes equipped with zone lighting, just like the F-150 I reviewed in the past, which is really awesome that Ford started to implement this. So you can hit all zones, and that's gonna light up all the different lights around the exterior of the Bronco. So if you're out in a really dark area at night and you're camping or something, you can turn all that on, and that is a really, really awesome feature. This one, as I mentioned, super off-road focused, very worthy of the title with the off-roading. And then if we move down here, you're going to have your camera button. As I mentioned, you do have a front camera and a rear one. So this has the 360-degree camera as well. So if you just want to switch to the front, you can have that full screen, or if you want 3 different angles from the front, you also have that. That really, really helps on the trail. And then we can go, there we go, back to that, and then we can turn that off. This also has engine auto start stop, and then you'll have your parking sensor button, your volume and your tuning. And then down here you have your climate controls. This particular Bronco is equipped with heated seats and heated mirrors. That's just another awesome feature that this has built into it on this higher trim. And then you'll have down here USB and USB-C. Ow, I just bumped my elbow into this and I got one of those stingy Charlie horse things in my arm. Don't you hate when that happens? Especially when you're reviewing a Ford Bronco. Ugh, I can't tell you how often that does. Anyway, you have a 10-speed automatic transmission right here with the kind of auto manual shift right built into it. I like the Bronco logo incorporated into that. And then you also do have a small plate with the made in the USA stamped into it, which is really cool. And then down here you do have cup holders, and then you have your GOAT modes, which is really cool. So in addition to your drive modes, 2-wheel, 4 low, 4 high, and 4 auto, if you hit the center button, you can do your different modes. So you can do different trail controls. Oh goodness, what do you want me to do? If I hit this, GOAT mode, trail 1, control, oh, hold on. Okay. I think we're gonna have to cut here. So if you spin on this dial right here, you'll get your different modes. You'll have normal, eco, your slippery, your mud and rut, as well as sand and Baja, as well as rock crawling. And I think that's everything if we spin all through it. Yeah, that's everything on there. So that's really cool that you have all these different GOAT modes. That stands for go over any terrain, if I'm not mistaken. So again, just so nice. You'll also have Bronco stamped into the dashboard here, and then if we move up to the roof here, you just pull these 2 down to release the roof, and then you pull back, like I said, in the opposite way of how I put this on. Now I would definitely go for the soft top Bronco if I were to purchase one, because the hard tops just got recalled for the carpeting on it just not being up to expectations. A lot of the carpeting was like dropping stuff and it was peeling, and that just was not good. So Ford has recalled that, and they have delayed production of the Bronco even longer to fix that, which I really appreciate. I wish Ford would have done that with the rust on the F-150s, but it is really cool to see that they're doing that on here, and they're honoring their product, and they're saying, hey, you know, we made a mistake and we're going to fix that. Unfortunately, that does mean that there is more delays. That pretty much wraps up the interior here. The last thing I wanted to touch upon was these leather seats are really, really nice, very comfortable and snug. And down here you do have your window controls, so you can put the windows up and down from here. And you do have your mirror controls on here as well. Moving to the back of the Bronco, not a ton to write home about back here other than this really nice car seat. But there is window switches back here, and USB and USB-C, as well as a household power outlet. You also do get these really cool little nets for storage in the rear. And I just have to mention how much I love the borderless windows. So when you have the window all the way down, it's completely borderless around there. I think that's really neat and an awesome feature. And then you do have grab handles in the rear here. All right, driving the 4-door Bronco. I have to apologize. I forgot my camera windshield mount at home, so we're gonna have a little bit different angle for the driving segment, which is okay. But first impressions with the 4-door variant. I really like it. I was unsure if I would or not, because I really like the 2-door version. The two-door version is the first vehicle I've ever reviewed to make me seriously consider trading my Tacoma in for it. I've never had another vehicle that I've ever reviewed that I'm like, yeah, I would want to trade my Tacoma for this. Except that Bronco. And I love that you can take the roof off and you have this open air feel. I love it. And so the problem for me was that the two-door version was impractical for me, though. I like the cramped, small size of it, but it would just be impractical. I drive people a lot of places. I carry a lot of cargo. I need the four-door version. And so I was like, would I even like the four-door version as much? Well, here we are driving the four-door version, and I'm happy to report that I do. I still think that I like the two-door variant a little bit more just because of its compact size and its really tight turning radius. But this handles just as good as the two-door version does. And I expect that because it's the same 10-speed automatic and the same 2.7 liter. Now, this one does have a little slower 0 to 60 time in comparison to the Black Diamond I reviewed, because that didn't have the Sasquatch package, and the huge meaty tires on this particular one make it a tiny bit slower when it's accelerating, like onto the highway, for example. But if the reason you're purchasing one of these is for off-roading, this is definitely the vehicle for you. It's just like the two-door in the fact that it's incredibly smooth. It handles really nicely around corners. I love the open air feeling. I feel like that's awesome and just a really cool feature. And I think the seating position is fantastic as well. If I had to levy one complaint against this, in the rear view mirror, because we have the soft top down, I cannot see behind me in this center rear view mirror. I have to use my side mirrors, which is obviously an issue. I can't see anything back there. Like, I'm completely obstructed unless I were to have that folded up. But that's my only complaint. Other than that, I really like it, and I think Ford really knocked it out of the park, other than the roof issue that they've been having. I think that's something that they definitely have needed to address, and it looks like they have, so I'm thankful for that. But yeah, I think this is a fantastic SUV, and I think Ford really did a great job when reviving this. So that concludes this video. I really thank you guys for watching. It really helps my channel out quite a bit. If you could subscribe and like the video, that would really help. And comment, leave a comment. I'm also a Christian, so if you have any prayer requests, you can leave those in the comment section as well. And I like to do a weekly Bible verse. So here that is right there. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.